you guys? It's your boy Prime Music Creator, and today I have a very special video for you guys. As you know, we are approaching the end of 2024, which is actually insane. Is it me, or like did 2024 feel like just a blink of an eye? Like it just went that fast. With that being said, there's been a lot of amazing figures that I've collected in 2024, and there's been some yeah, not really good figures. So I thought, why not? Let's do the top 5 most shocking and disappointing figures of 2024. But before I get started, here are some ground rules for this video. For these lists, I'm counting whatever I collected in 2024, whether that been a figure from 2018 or a figure that I just collected recently. Also note that I will not be getting to every single figure because I don't got a whole 5 weeks. Another ground rule is that there's going to be top 5 of each. And note that these will not be in any particular order. Now, who do we start off first? I'm going to flip a coin. I don't know how to flip a coin. We're just going to... Woo! It's heads! Now, starting off this list as some of the most disappointing figures of 2024. And it pains for me to say this because I thought long, hard, and deep, about this. And I was like, this hurts so bad. So the figure that's starting off this list, and it pains for me to say this, is mainline TF1 Optimus Prime. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not happy with this at all. I get it, he's a mainline, but even then, some of his mainline wave mates are superbly better. Let's start off with some of the positives with this figure. This figure is Orion Pack / Optimus Prime, and I think the paint is actually pretty good, but that's it. The fact that he doesn't have any ankle tiltage whatsoever really makes him not posable at all. Sentinel Prime and Alpha Trion have ankle tiltage while he doesn't even have anything. And you can somewhat say the same thing about Bumblebee, but he does have that little knee thing to help with at least that. Other than the paint, I feel like this figure is not good at all. And his size, which he's severely small. He is the smallest mainline out of, I believe, the 4 or 5. Also, his bottom waist is really loose. I definitely prefer the Studio Series by 100%. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not really fond of this figure at all. It sucks because out of all the mainline that came out for TF1, I feel like for sure he's one of the worst to come out of it. Actually, now that I think about it, there's one that's actually kind of worse than this one. And it's from the same line. Going into our next figure, here we have is the mainline Quintesson. Yeah, I don't really like this figure. Let me just say that the posability on this figure is one of the best that I've ever... This is all he does. That's it. He just stands there. Are you serious? Yeah, he's not that good. I really do like the head sculpting on this figure for sure. I don't think he looks bad, but definitely playability wise, he is one of the worst mainlines to come out. Me personally, I wasn't too hyped for this figure, but there was some hope inside me because he looked really good. But even though a figure can look good, there's definitely still a chance that his posability may not be the best. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I only got this figure because he's part of TF1 and Studio Series hasn't came out with anything for the Quintesson, so yeah. Definitely for sure, Optimus Prime and the Quintesson are one of my least favorites out of the whole 5 of the group. Next on our list, and this may be a little bit of a shocker, here is Studio Series Rise of the Beast Pablo, aka Wheeljack. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the mainline nor the Studio Series version. Of course, let me just say that the robot mode I think is fantastic. I really love the head sculpt, I love the chest area, and I definitely feel like they really did a good job at that front for sure. I can tell you right now that I feel like this for sure is better than the mainline, but not by much. First and foremost, like a lot of Studio Series figures, he does lack paint for sure. And not only that, his accessories is just that. While in the movie, he had 2 hand blasters. And I know that there's an upgrade kit for that, but I'm thinking to myself, why do we need an upgrade kit? It should already came with the Studio Series figure. Also, a lot of complaints is the back. In the movie, they're supposed to be kind of like Bumblebees, but on this one, it's just facing inwards and it looks really weird. And not even that, his posability isn't even that great at all. Believe me or not, I feel like the mainline does a lot better with the posability than the Studio Series counterpart, which is insane. And don't even get me started with the transformation. I feel like this transformation right here is right behind Studio Series Rise of the Beast Mirage. So yeah, overall, it's just not my favorite, and I feel like for sure they should have done a better job. This figure right here is a little bit of for sure, in my opinion, not one of the greatest legacy figures to come out whatsoever. So with that, here we have the Transformers Animated Deluxe Class Bumblebee. I remember seeing him for the first time. I was really excited. I was genuinely like, dude, this is awesome. I've always wanted to collect a Transformers animated Bumblebee. But yeah, let me just say that I was really disappointed with this figure. Starting off with the pros, I feel like the paint is awesome. And I really love the head sculpt. Of course, you have the nice blue for the eyes. I know some people really don't like the Transformers animated designs, but in my opinion, I feel like it's something new and unique with it, which I love. And he does come with 2 really cool blasters. But there are some things that kind of make this figure a little disappointing. Now, this is probably just me, okay? This is just me, but I feel like his size is insanely small. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is probably one of the smallest Bumblebees I have in my collection, and the fact that he's deemed a deluxe is a little crazy. He is so small that core class Shockwave is basically almost as tall as him. Another thing is that in his car mode, not everything likes to tab in at all. And since he's so small, you kind of have to fiddle with everything to try and force everything in. And yeah, it's just not that great. And plus, as this figure has a lot of clear plastic, that definitely scares me because one of these transformations is gonna crack or probably break on me. I don't know, maybe this one's just me, but I just really don't. I'm just kind of disappointed with this Bumblebee. Now, coming into the last figure on this list, this one is really controversial. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna get hunted at. I'm probably gonna probably have to hide for the rest of my life. I was super excited for this figure, and when I got him and I transformed him and I just played with him for a bit, there were a lot of stuff that they did to him that was disappointing. The figure that I'm referring to, and again, controversial, but it's just me, Transformers 1 Studio Series Megatron. Now, before you come hate me, before you start typing in the comment, let me just explain my reasons, at least why I feel like this figure is a disappointing figure in 2024. And if I can't convince you, then you can go to the comments. For starters, the paint on this figure is just not there. Another thing I don't like about this Megatron are his knees. I really don't like the way his knees just pop out like that, and I don't know, it's just a really weird design. Another con about this figure are his hands. Let me tell you guys right now that I am not a fan of Transformers having their vehicle mode parts as hands. And for Megatron, I was completely disappointed to see that. I just don't understand why they did that to him. Now sure, they sculpted in somewhat of a hand in there, which is pretty cool, I guess. And it does have wrist swivel, which I thank him for. But I know for sure I'm not the only one that doesn't like this about this Megatron. And sadly, he doesn't come with this triple barrel cannon. I don't know, like for the first time in a long time, I've never felt so conflicted on a figure before. Like, he's good, right? Like, I feel like this figure is good, but there's just a lot of stuff holding him back from being good. In my brain, in my two brain cells that I have, I'm like, they're battling one another right now, saying he's good, but he's disappointing. It's just one of those things where they definitely could have improved on him a lot more. His pose ability is great. It's not amazing like Optimus Prime's, but I feel like it's really good for a deluxe for sure. But there's just a lot of things that they did with this Megatron that they shouldn't have done or they could have improved on, that's making him not near as good as he should have been. Again, he's not the worst figure of 2024 at all. He's just one of the more disappointing ones of 2024. Whew, I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot harder than it was supposed to be. That list is probably controversial, but I know for sure that there are some shocking figures that came out in 2024. Starting off this list as some of the most shocking figures that I've collected in 2024 has to be the Commander class Jetfire. This right here is one of my most favorite figures I have in my collection, without a doubt. This Jetfire is not only amazing, his pose ability for a Commander class figure is insane. And the fact that he came out in 2018 is still a shocker to me. The details on this figure is amazing. I love the paint, even though it's just plain white mostly for 90%. The fact that he could transform into his armor mode is also really cool. And yes, let's not forget that he's also freaking huge. If I'm being honest, I wasn't really high on this Jetfire, and it wasn't honestly on my top priority to get for this year. Let me just say I'm glad I did because he is amazing. This Jetfire is definitely a shocker to me, and I am so happy that I have him and I'm not selling him anytime soon. I mean, just look at this thing, dude. You cannot tell me that he doesn't look awesome. This figure up next that we're going to be talking about is not only shocking to me. With that being said, the next figure we're going to be talking about is none other than the Studio Series number 109 Leader Class Concept Art Megatron. Let me just say that this is one of my favorite Leader Class figures of all time. Let me just start off by saying that the paint is really good. He comes with this really huge fusion cannon. I 100% love his head sculpt, and not only that, I love the Decepticon emblem on his chest, and he has no backpack whatsoever. If I'm being honest, it looks like this figure can't even transform at all. And I haven't even talked about the posability. He does amazing stuff. Did I mention that his fingers are posable as well? But not only that, he transforms into a tank and a jet mode. And I'm not even mentioning all the other countless fan modes. And trust me, there's a lot of them. I was completely shocked at not only how good he looked, but how amazing and how fun he is to play with. This next one right here is actually a shocker in my opinion. I remember when this figure was announced and people were wondering, why is he a deluxe class? And not only that, when the first images came out, people were a little disappointed. But let me just say that my opinion changed when I got him out the box. The figure that I'm talking about is the Transformers 1 Deluxe class Optimus Prime. This figure right here is not only shocking, it's the fact that he's a deluxe class and they did so much with him. Is it me, or is that whenever they make Optimus Primes, they hold nothing back? Let me just start off by saying that the posability on him is one of the best I've ever seen a deluxe do. I love the head sculpt. I love his accessory. Not only that, I definitely like what they did with him. I also love the fact that you can see his matrix of leadership inside his chest. And sure, even though his backpack isn't really the best, it definitely doesn't hinder him at all. Now I know the paint on him isn't really the best. Trust me, it's not the worst paint we've ever seen on a deluxe. But I still think that this figure not only shocked me, but shocked a lot of people of how good he actually is. For $20 to $24, I believe he is 100% worth it. And if I'm being honest, I don't really understand the hatred behind him. I don't know, is he 100% perfect? No, but he is by far one of the more shocking figures in my opinion for 2024. This one is not only shocking to me, but the promotional images definitely did him dirty. Whoever did those shots didn't care about him at all. With that being said, I can't believe I'm saying this. Here we have the Transformers War for Cybertron Gamer Edition Voyager class Starscream. For those who don't know, I've had a huge problem with Starscream. Not only that, Coronation Starscream. But with that being said, let me just say that for this Starscream is completely different. Sure, he's definitely more on the chunky side of the chest area, but proportion wise, they definitely nailed him. And putting him next to Megatron and the Decepticon Soldier, yeah, he definitely fits in. And honestly, this makes me a lot more excited for Thundercracker and Skywarp. The paint looks amazing, his head sculpt looks amazing, and another cool thing I love about the Gamer Edition line is the fact that they can basically transform into like their arm weapon, which is really cool. Definitely way better than I thought. Not only did this figure shock me, this figure right here made me a lot more excited for the Gamer Edition line for sure. I never thought I'd see the day where I actually like a Starscream figure. You win, Optimus Prime. And for the last big shocker of 2024, this figure to this day makes me speechless. I'm shocked at the fact that they made him this good and he was 100% worth the wait. And not only is this figure really shocking to me, he's definitely in my top 5 best figures of 2024. With that being said, for the last one here we have the Transformers Studio Series Commander Class 86 Optimus Prime. This Optimus Prime is without a doubt one of my favorite Studio Series figures ever. And I just freaking reviewed the thing! This Optimus Prime right here is one of the best Optimus Prime Studio Series have probably ever made. Let me just start off with the only thing that kind of icks me right now is the head sculpt. I talked about it in my last video, but I feel like his head sculpt is a little bit too round. But other than that, this figure is basically perfect. Not only does he come with this beautiful Energon axe and of course his iconic Ion Blaster, he also comes with this really huge trailer that does so many things. You can hold his accessories, you can put Optimus Prime there, and yes, if you haven't noticed, the trailer could basically transform. And this thing is huge, definitely above average size. The paint and sculpting on this figure is on another level. This right here is probably the first time I'm ever saying this, but he does not need any more paint. Let me remind you that this is a Studio Series figure, but the only thing that I have to complain about again is the head sculpt, but that's it. They really nailed this Optimus Prime down to the wire. And I haven't even talked about the fact that his smokestacks are painted. Best figure of 2024. The posability on this figure is on another level, and I couldn't be more satisfied with an Optimus Prime in my life. Definitely a contender for one of my most favorite figures, not only of all time, but best figures of 2024. But yeah, without a doubt, this Optimus Prime is on a whole nother level, and I'm super satisfied with what they did with him. But alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Note that this wasn't my top 5 best or worst figures of 2024. That's definitely coming later down the line, if I don't forget, of course. But I want to hear your thoughts. What are your top 5 most shocking and disappointing figures of 2024? But for now, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I really hope you guys get all your figures that you guys desire that you wrote for Santa. And yes, Santa is real. But hey, that's been your boy Prime, Mr. Creator. Remember to stay calm and keep moving on. So I'll make sure to see you guys all in the next one. Till all are one. Bye!